Exactly 1 month from today, the Switch will have the entirety of Xenoblade, both from start to finish, and Metroid Prime 4 will still not be out. How time flies. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Xenoblade news drops. It's been a while. It's been some springing of news, but we figured this was something that would already be out there, whether it would be easy explained or if it's just mechanics that are being reintroduced for new players. But it is the 20th of February 2025, 1 month away from the release date of Xenoblade X Definitive Edition, and the previews started to drop and more news has come out. So let's get into it right now. First off, the clip you're seeing here. This is something which we will delve into. I just wanted to give a brief summary of every preview you've seen online. This is one of the examples of, maybe some of the preview gameplay you see is not indicative of the actual quality of the game itself. Honey, would you like to explain why really quick for the viewers at home?
Well, with this overdrive that they're doing right now, they're just mainly combining melee and ranged attacks, so their overdrive counter is really not going anywhere.
No, so much like any novice when previewing a game, they don't know the ins and outs on the mechanics. I know some people have the illusion of you play the game first, so therefore you know everything. Obviously not true. But enough about that. Let's get into the news because my god, I am rubbing my hands. So, the first one is of course from our good friends at Xenoblade Chronicles EN. Of course, the data probes are back and they unleash the maps. This will be addressed later on because it's not just the maps that have changed, but pretty much the mechanic itself has had a massive overhaul. Of course, now we get to another mechanic, but we want to show with the video in place because not only, yes, the UI's changed, looks a lot sleeker, much more efficient, and has a couple of more bells and whistles attached to it here. The bars are below, but again, these will be explained in due time. For the majority of everything that we are going to talk about here, this is from the Twitter account as well as the website rpgsite.net. So if you want to have a look for yourself at all of the changes in which this website can only show some things that they've changed, improved on or whatnot. This article explicitly states everything is not talked about here from top to bottom. So there might be some things in which you might have to find out for yourself, but a brief summary of what they've changed. This is a good place to start, so let's get to it right now.
I'll just say right now, a bunch of QOL updates that make me really excited and relieved.
So obviously, at the very start, the cleaner visuals. They look better, they've got better lighting, textures, character models, across the board, you name it, it's definitely got an upgrade. Some people might think the softer character models might look a little bit weird or not as good as the original, but for me, I feel like it serves a purpose and it definitely coincides Xenoblade X with the rest of the Xenoblade mythos. Just so, if a new player is coming in, like yourselves who might be watching the video, it definitely creates the Xenoblade look.
Yeah.
So to speak. So Xenoblade itself has a sort of art style. But personally, I don't mind it being a little bit different because Xenoblade X is definitely a different game, but hey ho. So unfortunately, let's get to some bad news straight off the bat. Unfortunately, whether the Switch will be docked or handheld, it will run 30 FPS. Now for me, I'm not much of an FPS person myself, but I do know that FPS is an important aspect to it. But at the same time, and for players who are new to the game, getting this game to run at 60 FPS on Switch hardware, that's a bit of a tough sell.
Yeah.
There are ways in which you can play X at 60 FPS. I'm assuming if you know what I'm talking about, you know how.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't need to go on that further. But still though, you'll be surprised on how big, on how vast Xenoblade X is. And it was damn well impressive that it ran on the Wii U in the first place. So first of all, let's get to the big quality of life change straight away. You can change your party at any time. People who have played the existing original Xenoblade X, this is like a godsend if you want efficiency and just stop you from driving yourself insane from checking Google, like, where is this character?
Like, where's Gwen? Wait, L is only out at night? What?
Yeah, okay, so to briefly explain, in the original Xenoblade X, you could not put characters in your party from a select menu. You have to go out in the overworld to their specific locations and talk to them first before you had to have them join your party.
And some of them were time exclusive, like Nagi. Oh, he's only out at nighttime, or Gwen, he's at the daytime, or whatever.
And if you are at certain points regarding their affinity, they wouldn't even be at their exact locations because there are heart-to-hearts in this game, but the heart-to-hearts would make your character go elsewhere, and you would not know why or where if you did not know the heart-to-heart existed. Because let's be frank, for the longest time, we didn't realize heart-to-hearts are in the game because the game is so woefully poorly at explaining what mechanics are in the original.
One thing I can definitely appreciate is it shows you the stats as well. Like Elma right now, we have no affinity with her. This is her class rank. This is her blade rank. Things like that.
And more mechanics are going to be talked about later in the video. And plus, you can also select which main character that you want to actually play as, which, again, is fantastic. Another quality of life change, which, my god, even on the original Wii version, I was like, why did they think this was a good idea? Because, unlike in other previous Xenoblade games, get used to me saying that, by the way, audience, I apologize, but unlike in the original Xenoblade, you can't select the time from a menu. You again have to go to specific spots in the overworld and you have to manually change the time yourself.
It's either a really hard to see red bench in LA or a base. You have to find a base camp in the overworld, and good luck trying to find one in Caldros, because I'm just spinning around trying to find the nearest base camp in Caldros.
Plus, keep in mind, the lighting engine in the original version wasn't great. So sometimes the highlighted benches wouldn't be very highlighted because of the way that the lighting engine, or lack thereof, actually worked in the game.
And the base camps were just as bad because, like I mentioned, Caldros, because the base camps were like black and Caldros is black. It's like, ugh.
And not to mention the loading times and the spawn locations, especially if you're in a Skell flying over the overworld. There are some times in which the place to change the time would be there, but you'd fly so fast it wouldn't spawn in time and you just completely miss it if you weren't focusing on the minimap. But hey ho, so thankfully they have changed that. Next one is quick cooldown, and this goes back to one of the clips we showed earlier, and I'm just going to let the text explain for itself. New to the Xenoblade series is the quick cooldown bar showing up alongside the battle UI. As long as you have this in any of this in the medium remaining, you can ignore the art cooldown to cast any art you want with the tap of the Y button. So for me, this is like an emergency failsafe. If you need an art ASAP, that can generate it for you, but as it says, it costs TP and you will still need to have that TP.
I've seen some people say it's really useful early game, but later in the game, like end game, you can make augments that deal with the issues that it fixes.
True, but for new players, this is a nice safety net because let's face it, the original X, it needed a lot of safety nets.
Yeah, it did.
But luckily, this is a nice mechanic in which it can help new players, but not something in which they can just fall back on because it's always going to be there. It's got a meter, and once that runs out, you are SOL. And also, I kind of like the start of the sentence here in this paragraph. New to the Xenoblade series. Is there a possibility that this type of mechanic comes back in newer Xenoblade games? Because for me, I'd like to see that. I would like the notion of every new mechanic gets added or implemented or inspires new ideas in later games. But let us know what you think about this. And also, do you think this arrow is big enough?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. And then of course, we have the new characters. nothing in which we haven't seen before, along with the new story content, quote unquote new story, but that's just something we have already shown and talked about in latter videos.
And as you can see in the text there, it's not going to be a separate menu or launcher as with the other Xenoblade titles.
Yeah, and for those who don't know what that means, if you have played Xenoblade, the Definitive Edition, or Xenoblade 3, you know how you get to the main menu and later on down it says, oh, open up this one, and it takes you to another like game menu.
Future Redeemed, or Torna, or Future Connected.
Yeah, sure. So not so. It's just one-to-one, quick and easy. Now, this one for me is a biggie, because this isn't a change. This is an outright removal of a mechanic. No blade levels or division points. So, forgetting this text, I'll give you a brief summary. The more times you do side missions or anything like that, you would gain blade points. Think of it as like you unlocking more augments and whatnot. So basically, the field skills in which we talked about, there would be level 1, level 2, level 3. If you were out in the overworld, and you came across something in which you could get treasure from, but it would be a higher level, so therefore you've wasted your time. And I'm just gonna say right now, some of these treasure points, they are in some pretty jerkish locations.
Yeah, it's like, get past this level 89 tyrant. Oh, look, a biological nest. Oh, it's a level 4, I can't even open it.
And it's such a kick in the teeth because more often than not, whatever you've got past, it'd either be a large trek to get back, or the monster you've managed to finagle around would kill you. But thankfully though, this is not something in which you need. So thankfully, blade levels and the division points are no longer a thing, because it was just needless faff. Absolute needless faff. This is an obvious choice. If you want to use your gamepad, yeah, good luck. Because again, the way the original worked, you have to look at the screen, down at the Wii pad, look at the screen, down at the Wii U pad. Doesn't really seem like very cohesive in terms of a gaming mechanic. But then again, that was a Wii U in a nutshell, but we will talk about that.
Especially if you wanted to do probe maintenance.
Yep. So now, this is just a blast through of the smaller things in which they've changed, or the obvious ones, but as a layman's player of Xenoblade X, these things down here, they are such a godsend for beginning players. Affinity levels in party members fill more quickly. Party members who are not active in the party, they will still gain EXP. You'll gain rewards for Survey of Mira, because, okay, I'm going to go over this really quick. The affinity levels and the EXP levels for characters, they were so woefully slow at leveling up.
Yeah, and if you're like a level 50, you need to get some affinity up with Gwen, pick him up. Oh, Gwen, you're level 12, what the hell?
Yeah, it was such a time sink.
Yeah.
Just to get people's levels up, and then their affinity levels took, in my opinion, way too long.
Yeah.
You'd have to grind for hundreds of hours in a vague hope that you could gain affinity with them to even get like a heart. So, again, this is such a good change, and I'm really glad that they've made it. Also, rewards for Survey of Mira. In the original, you just got achievements. Wii U achievements, I might add.
Yep.
Worthless.
If you 100%ed it, you got a picture. A picture you can put in the Blade Barracks. I hope they change that.
Yay. I let them go crazy here. And of course, more defined quest tracking. The follow ball, God. Again, some of the side quests, its locations and explaining sometimes were not great. But that is all from RPGsite.net. And again, if you want a thorough go through, the site is right here. But RPG Site is not the only site who's had previews or had details come out. So let's start from everyone's favourite place on earth, Reddit. And yes, if you know, you know. Scalefly BGMs you can have them turned off.
I don't think it's been confirmed that you can turn them off, but you can definitely switch between the arranged version of songs and the original versions of songs.
That's something which we will talk about. But if this is an option to have it turned off outright, I will be glad for it.
Yeah.
So now, honey, what is this site all about?
Well, I scrolled all the way to the top and it shouldn't have done that. Basically, I just wanted to highlight these things.
Yep. These are definitely new additions, because let's face it, Xenoblade 2 wasn't out by the time Xenoblade X was. So yeah, you've got Pyra, you've got Mithra, you've got Malos.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely Malos. Nia.
Mio.
Oh yeah, sure, because the hair braid.
Mia is in here though.
Oh yeah, sure she is. Good lord, what an image. But yeah, they are utilizing different hairstyles, so hopefully that means other different aspects about the game.
And there's no bust slider, much to the disappointment of so many people.
Trust me, guys, if you are the ones complaining about that, then yeah, you probably should get more priorities in life. For me, but I'm more interested to see, like, what is it like regarding the voice actors? Have they got more people in for the MC? Who knows? Are we going to have some voice actors coming back? Some people being taken out? Who's to say? Either way, I'm looking forward to see what else they've added regarding this. Now, there is another article linked here by Stealth4K on Twitter, and this goes to Hobby Consolas, which is a Spanish site, and this pretty much confirms another trend that Xenoblade Definitive Editions have followed through. We get to see that there's going to be soundtrack changes. And by soundtrack changes, I mean the original is looking to be like it's going to stay. Which I'm really glad, because Haruyuki is such a staple of X, and it honestly would not be X if it didn't have that same composer coming back. And plus, it'd be a pretty big ordeal if they were to take out an entire soundtrack and replace it with another one. But luckily, like anything, you can choose between the English and Japanese voices, which is fantastic. I will take that. And it says here, new elements been added, so thankfully, there's that. And of course, this is another piece of information which I love to see. As you kill enemies, they drop armor, weapons and whatnot, but if you don't like the buffs or the upgrades they give, you can sell them, but once you have them in your inventory, they go straight to your fashion gear.
It's just like the original Definitive Edition.
Yep, so once you kill the enemy, that's it. You've got the stuff. Thankfully so. And also, as this one says, you can also have more than one save slot, because do you know how many save slots you had in the first game or in the original? One.
Yep.
One.
And if your Wii U freezes, well, you're kind of boned there.
or if you've made a boo-boo and you've made a wrong pass on a side quest, then yeah, SOL. But luckily, it has 3 save slots and quick reload. And a save slot.
I think the reload is talking about the recast.
No, what we're trying to say, there is 3 save slots and a quick save option. Yes, there we go.
But I think up there it was talking about quick recast.
Yes, I know. And so with that, people, that is all of the information in which we have available to us right now. Will there be more previews that come out? Will there be some more footage or news that gets leaked? Who knows? But either way, it's a month away, and I'm looking forward to seeing to what extent they've actually gone on under the hood and changed.
Yeah.
So, guys, what are your thoughts on the changes in which they've made in these previews? Are there more changes which you are hoping they make? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching these videos.
Or if there are anything we missed, which I wouldn't be surprised on, just
let us know in the comments below. We might make amendments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we apologise for that. Again, it's 1:30 in the morning. Give us a break. We're tired. But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching these videos. You guys really help the channel, and honestly, we love doing videos like this. So again, thank you all for watching, and what are your thoughts on the changes? What are you hoping they change further? And what are your thoughts for the future of Xenoblade? Because they've got nowhere else to go but forward now once this goes.
Yeah, because Monolith's talking about making a big Xenoblade game for the Switch too.
Well, we'll just have to see. Possibly on April the 2nd. We'll have to see. But guys, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, then please, by all means, like the video. And if you want to subscribe to see more Xenoblade news, content, or anything else, then please subscribe to see more. And we'll see you next time. More Xenoblade news drops. But until then, I've been Lightning.
I'm Alice.
And this is more Xenoblade goodness in which we just cannot get enough of. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Tattoo still sucks.